Hi everyone and welcome to Mighty Kiddos. Today's video is on weighted blankets. I will be discussing how weighted blankets can help you increase your quality of sleep. I will also be discussing how weighted blankets work and what are some of the benefits of using a weighted blanket. So if this sounds like something interesting you want to learn about, stay tuned as we dive right in. Weighted blankets have been around for a very, very long time. It's just in most recent years, we have started to see it more popular, like in Amazon. And if you Google stuff, you can find weighted blankets everywhere. I purchased a weighted blanket myself and I have been using it for 2.5 months. So I have lots of personal experience to share with you as well. Let me tell you how they work. Weighted blankets are primarily used to improve sleep and to treat some sensory processing disorders. And this has been used also to help children with ADHD and kids with autism. So that's the medical part of, using weighted blankets. There's two types of weighted blankets. There's those that are knitted with heavy yarn, so they provide more weight to you and you can sleep with those. But the most popular ones look like a quilt. They are quilted with pockets that are filled with poly pellets or glass beads, and that adds weight to them. You can find weighted blankets from, I want to say, 3 pounds up until 30 pounds. There's a variety of it. And the idea behind how to choose the right weight for you is that you want to use 10% of your body weight plus 1 or 2 pounds. That will give you the best and most ideal weight for you to use during your sleep. When used appropriately, weighted blankets are typically very safe. However, you have to be very, very cautious when using it with your very little ones, okay? In this video, I will be covering the benefits of using a weighted blanket, and that can transfer over to kids and adults alike. However, the only difference is that we really want to be careful when we're using weighted blankets with infants, okay? We want to make sure that it's not too heavy and that they have the physical ability to remove it if they need it in order to prevent suffocation, okay? So we want to make sure that they're able to remove it. Now let's discuss how weighted blankets work. Weighted blankets are used commonly with occupational therapy or during sensory integration therapy. And this helps those with sensory processing disorder. The way it does that is by promoting deep touch pressure. That deep touch pressure is what you would get when you're getting massaged or when you're just having a big hug. That gets triggered when you're wearing the weighted blanket. Deep touch pressure helps promote regulation of your senses and balance of behavior and emotions. Another thing that deep touch pressure does is that it helps release the hormones of serotonin and dopamine. Those are considered our feel-good hormones. They elicit a sense of relaxation and calmness. Let's now discuss the benefits of a weighted blanket. It helps treat people with anxiety. When you have anxiety, anxiety promotes an alert state, right? And a release of cortisol. Cortisol is one of those hormones that just disrupts all our other nervous system. So as our cortisol levels are up, our quality sleep goes down and we are not really ever really calm or relaxed. So with the use of a weighted blanket, that helps bring down the cortisol levels at a more manageable state, and it helps promote more of the calming and relaxed state that we all need in order to sleep better. And if our cortisol levels are down, insomnia that is induced due to anxiety gets to decrease as well. One of the benefits that I really felt the first night I slept with the weighted blanket is that I stopped moving as often and I fell asleep a lot faster. The issues I was having is that every time I'd wake up to nurse baby Z, it was harder for me to fall asleep. Now that I have the weighted blanket, it's like instantly I close my eyes in a minute or so. So I definitely have noticed an improvement in the quality of sleep. I don't sleep more because he still wakes me up the same amount of time, but my quality of sleep is a lot better. So the super cool benefit that I did not know was linked to a weighted blanket is that it produces melatonin. So it appears that melatonin tends to increase as we secrete more serotonin. Therefore, we're secreting serotonin due to the deep touch pressure that we're feeling by the weighted blanket, and hence we are then releasing and producing more melatonin. One of the cool things that a study just showed was that the melatonin levels have increased in patients that suffered of insomnia and they were given deep touch pressure. So with the deep touch pressure, their levels of melatonin increased and stayed up compared to the group of individuals that did not receive that deep touch pressure. And as you know, the blanket is providing that deep touch pressure for us. Hence, we could say that our melatonin levels are going to increase due to the consistent use of a weighted blanket. Another good thing about the weighted blanket is that it really does feel like a hug. And what we get when we hug our loved ones and hug our children, our spouse, we get that really calming and that very soothing feeling and a feeling of security, which is important to note, right? We get that when we hug our loved ones. Well, this same hug feeling is being mimicked by the weighted blanket because it literally feels like somebody is just hugging you. So it's really important that the weighted blanket helps release serotonin due to the deep touch pressure. And serotonin is important for treating a lot of disorders. For instance, it has been noted that an increase in serotonin has diminished symptoms of obsessive compulsive disorder, of post-traumatic stress disorder, and even of bipolar disorder. So if you know of anybody that's suffering of these disorders, maybe suggest getting a weighted blanket to treat some of those symptoms that come along with those disorders, which can be a lot of anxiety, restlessness, and lack of sleep. And we all need sleep in order to function. So it's really crucial that we take steps necessary to get a better quality sleep. Now, the last benefit I want to talk about in terms of a weighted blanket is the benefits that children with autism and ADHD have. It has been noted that children with ADHD and autism say that they're able to concentrate better when they have a weighted blanket or a weighted vest on them. Obviously, using a weighted blanket during class time, it is not functional. So if this is something that you are interested in, consider looking into weighted vests or a weighted lap pad. Those are very common nowadays. They're very popular. You could buy one and bring it to your classroom so your teacher can, so the teacher can allow your student to have it during class time. It does definitely help with, like I said, again, regulating your sensory, regulating your behavior, and it therefore allows the kids to be able to focus a lot more. So I do feel like these benefits are worth trying. I have definitely seen the change in my quality of sleep. I feel a lot more rested with the same amount of sleep that I'm getting. I am not getting more sleep because of my nursing duties right now, but the quality of sleep has definitely improved. I have linked the blanket that I bought. I bought an 18-pound blanket. I didn't want a queen size blanket because I thought it was going to be too big. And in fact, I found out through my research that it's not important for your blanket to cover your whole bed. You only want it to cover your body. Since I do share it with my husband, I felt like the size we got was perfect. It completely just stays on top of our mattress. It doesn't come over. So as you see here, so this is what worked best for us, and this is what we like. I can recommend this blanket in particular for the main reason that it's easier to clean by taking out, it has the duvet style. However, it is harder to find the duvet style weighted blankets on Amazon for children. I have been searching, but I found some really decent ones. So if you are interested in buying out weighted blankets, go for it. There is a lot of benefits. Just remember to get the correct weight. You do not want to get too heavy of a blanket for your child, and you don't want to give it to a child that has low muscle tone and won't be able to remove the blanket if they're starting to feel like it's harder for them to breathe. So just use caution when using it for children, but definitely give it a try for yourself. Thank you guys so much for staying with me through this video. If you liked this video and found it helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, leave some comments below if you have questions or you want more details. I will catch you on the next one, guys. Have a good day.